So what do you think about the new conference? Do you think it's good or bad?
Well, there's a lot of travel. No matter how you look at it, we're going to be on the road a lot. And that part I'm not real excited about. Tuesday night basketball games, they're going to be a little bit tough when we're on the road. But I think we're going to be very competitive in the conference. I think our goal needs to be at every sport to win the conference championship this year. And I think we have a real good chance of doing that. I have a lot of faith that our football team can win the conference championship. We've had some really tough games. We've been in most of the games we've played. Our soccer team started out with a victory. Won their very first conference game against probably the toughest opponent they're going to have in Asheboro. See a great improvement in our volleyball team, and I have a lot of high expectations for our girls and boys basketball team as we enter that conference. And my hope is that we're not just playing for a conference championship, that we're going deep into the playoffs, if not a state championship.
All right, no.
If you've never been involved in a state championship team, there's just nothing like it. I had the good fortune to be involved in a girls' state champion that was back-to-back champions, and then a boys and girls state championship in the same year. We won the boys championship at 12 noon in the Smith Center, the girls championship at 8 p.m. in Carmichael, and there's probably no more exciting time that you'll ever have is to win 2 state championships. So we're going to throw that out as a challenge to our boys and girls teams this year.
And are there sports we don't have here that you would like to see?
I think the key is, what do the students need? What do they want? There's a lot of schools now playing lacrosse and field hockey. Those are 2 sports that you really have to have student athletes who want to participate in those sports. Both of them are fairly expensive sports to have. But again, if the demand's there, we'll try to meet the demand. And those are 2 sports that we don't have that some schools are doing. We're doing just about everything else.
What goals do you have for our athletic program this year?
Adam, I would have 3 goals. Number 1, that we play hard every game, that we never give up. Second, that no matter what happens, that we're good sportsmen. That we do the right thing, as I said before, that we lose graciously if we lose, and we win even more graciously if we win. And the 3rd goal is to get more students involved in all our athletic programs, so there's more involvement. You know, I'd love to see 100 students in the football program. I mean, that would be great. Our soccer program, we need some more numbers there, a few more in volleyball. But the more students we can have participate, the better athletic program we're going to have, and ultimately, the better school we're going to have.
And what changes can you bring to the school and the athletic department?
I think number 1 change is a very positive attitude. Believing in the students, believing that you can achieve, that you can be the best you can be. I expect that every student in this school will graduate, and when they graduate, that they're going to be able to be successful in whatever they choose to be, whether that's going on to college, going into the military, getting a job, that you're going to have the skill set necessary to be successful. What we don't want to see is students graduating from school and then not being able to do anything. There's a lot of folks out there who chose to take the wrong classes, and they're not prepared for anything. They don't have the work ethic or the skill to get a job or go on to school. Our goal is to make sure that our students are ready and prepared, that you all believe in yourself, that you believe that you're going to be able to be successful, that you take the appropriate classes, that you take the SAT, that you be ready for college admissions. And I think if we do that, we're going to have a lot of pride in our school. And that's something else I think we need to do, is instill pride in being a North Forsyth Viking. That means something not only for the students who come here, but for our community. We want to be known as a school that people want to attend, and we'll all work together and achieve that goal.
And last question, since I know you're a sports-minded principal, what is your favorite college and NFL team?
Okay, well, it's pretty evident if you walk in my office My favorite college team is the Tar Heels. I've been a Tar Heel fan since I guess I was born. I remember the famous Duke Carolina game when Carolina was 8 down with 17 seconds to go. I watched that live on TV. Remember that like it was yesterday. I've always been a Tar Heel fan. That's just, I guess, what I watched. I was even a Tar Heel fan when Tommy Burleson. And some of you might remember the name. Tommy Burleson was the center for the 1974 NC State Wolfpack team that won the national championship. They beat Bill Walton and UCLA in the semifinals in Greensboro. And I was probably the only person living in Avery County that was still a Tar Heel fan when Big Tommy played for the Wolfpack. But I've always been a Tar Heel fan. NFL team, I probably pull for the Carolina Panthers since I'm in North Carolina. I've always been a big Colts fan, though, especially when they were in Baltimore. A little bit upset when they moved from Baltimore to Indianapolis, but I kind of pull for the Colts, too. I like the organization. I like Peyton Manning. I think he's a really good quarterback, and he definitely plays with the minds of the defense. I'm not sure what he does when he's running back and forth. I think he's really playing with their minds more than he's doing anything, but I like to watch the Colts play.
And how about the NBA teams, since you're into basketball too?
NBA, I guess if I was picking one team that I pull for, it's probably the Bulls. And that's just because Michael Jordan was there. I do pull for the Bobcats because I like Raymond Felton. I hate Sean May, never could get healthy to play for them. I wish him a lot of success. And I follow some of the Carolina players that are still in the NBA. And if you look down the rosters, they probably have the highest percentage of any college around of NBA players and NBA greats.
Thank you, Mr. Burleson, for interviewing. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Come out and enjoy yourself at North Forsyth Talent Show. You cannot miss out on Brianna Collins and friends dancing the Thriller, Erica and Lindsay singing a duet, Sanaya Simpson and Jimmy Jeter and Shayna doing a skit with vocals, Shayla dancing, Callie Young singing, Eric and Anthony and SQ and Antonio doing a rap. You cannot miss out on the talent show. The talent show is at 7 o'clock p.m. on October 22nd, October 23rd in the North Forsyth High School auditorium. Tickets are $5 in advance and $7 at the door. Hope to see you there.
The North Forsyth Sports Podcast. Views expressed on the podcast are those of the host and guest only, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the North Forsyth faculty and staff.
We'd like to thank WSI 12 and High School Playbook for providing the video for the podcast. You can check out our podcast at highschoolplaybook.com to search for podcasts. We're also on iTunes. Search for North Forsyth and click on the podcast button.
You can also follow us on Twitter. Go to twitter.com/NFSportsMKTG for all the latest news from North Forsyth sports marketing.
Thanks again for listening to this week's sports podcast. Drop us a comment and let us know what you think about the podcast. And see you back here next week. I'm Jaylun Adam.
And I'm Adam East.